Hello everyone and welcome back to Fablehaven, the return of the Supreme Necromancer. We resume where we left things off last time. I got a little derailed last time, worrying about stuttering and all sorts of hard drive issues, but I think that has been rectified. I was even able to fix the stuttering issues post-recording somehow. The magic of rendering. But we'll move forward unabated, unchallenged. I did lose quite a few characters last time because I was so distracted, and we fought a lot of Ottomans that kicked our ass. Sorry. But this time, we are approaching the first boss, the Keymaster, who was actually buffed in the hotfix that went live. The very first hotfix for the live version of Iratus, he was buffed in More Pain and Good Always Win, which we are playing on, but I don't think that hotfix will affect our save file. Maybe? I don't know. But there was an interesting change that did reaffirm one of my fears. But I'll talk about that once we get into this next fight. This is our very first elite squad. Everything is elite. Elite Hunky, Elite Miner, Elite Mad Mage, Elite Demolitions Experts. And we were debating. Do we throw the solo Fallen Dhampir into an elite-only fight? I'm not sure. Honestly. Of this, the only thing that can truly threaten her is the Elite Hungy whenever if he's able to crit her, then she will be stunned. However, the Fallen Dhampir has an incredible amount of innate luck, so I'm thinking that she can handle it. And I mean, I'm very greedy, so she's gonna do it.
Ooh, a vessel of indiscriminate magical carnage.
That sounds a lot like Iratus, doesn't it? Indiscriminate magical carnage. But we are going to give her the go. We're going to see if the Yolo solo Dhampir build is as powerful as they say it is. We have tested it before, but I got absolutely rocked in a battle with stuns, so that's how I knew that this would indeed be dangerous. But it looks like these guys are faster, but it didn't matter at all. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to focus the Hunky with this. Now remember, this attack, it deals stress damage to start, and then you enter the stance that will begin the counterattacks, and we'll see what awaits us. Remember, with the Boiling Blood item, we are stacked to the teeth. We have so many bonus stats, it's actually insane. Of course he crits. So, the one thing that would really screw this over happens. Because he's crit, we are now knocked out of our stance, which means most of our defense is non-existent. We do, however, still have the baseline baseline armor and resistance from the item itself. So, I mean, we're still doing fine. In fact, they can't really hurt us at all. I'm not scared at all. Now that debuff does reduce our accuracy, but we still have nearly 100 accuracy.
Savor these last few heartbeats.
That attack triggered the insanity. This is gonna hurt Mad Mage. Ooh. Do we try for the kill? We got the kill. He was the only thing that could threaten us, so. I do remember reading early on in the Q&As regarding how people trigger heart attacks, and it was some sort of, well, they left it kind of up as far as whether it was related to how many times you were attacked or how much damage you took. They said it's a secret. So I've kind of been trying to go with both. I think there's some value there that you can, cross. No blowing up for you. Oh. That stance can't be interrupted. That's fine. We'll just heal it back. With her feature, the item that she has.
This is what 1,000 years of evolution looks like. Pathetic.
Yeah, this went well. Unfortunately, she can only heal for a portion of the damage she deals. So she's not healing a whole lot on these low health targets,
As
but
your
there she goes.
suffering ends, your service begins.
She did it all by herself. Elite battle? Ha! I'm scared no freaking ghost. Now I do have 3 points, which means we can finally get durable
The formulae reveal their secrets.
materials. Now I do want to try and head towards necromancy powers. I love this. It's so strong, but we'll have to wait. That's gonna be our later commitment. So we can either begin heading down this way for more stuff, because more stuff is great, or I think we're gonna swing around and pick up our passive bonuses, because we have luck here from alchemy, which will take 3 points. We have some dread here, which is a free point. Just 1 point. Was that it? There's probably one more. This is pretty good. That was it, actually. Okay. So we just have the luck potion in alchemy and the dread in magic. Okay. That way we can also begin heading down towards the Finger of Death. This is an incredibly powerful spell. The target that you use it on will lose 50%, 10% for bosses, of its maximum vigor and sanity, removes all buffs from the target, target loses all blocks and wards, and ignores ward. This is especially powerful with the Shade, who can kind of just replenish your mana with his item. So, you know, that's good. The Fallen Dhampir has gained a rank. What do we want to put a point to? I do want her to have more initiative so that I can go first, because as you saw during the elite combat, we went third, which kind of messed things up. Not too bad, though. So I might hold for that. The item that made that entire thing possible, however, was the Boiling Blood. For each unfilled squad slot, the minion receives +4 armor, +4 resistance, +14 attack, +14 dread, +4 evasion, and +6 accuracy. Very good. The other character that people have played around using that item for is the Lich. Where is he? The Lich. And you might be wondering, why? That's scary. Well, the reason is because the Lich, with the Bone Shards upgrade to Shrapnel, he will deal a significant amount of magical damage to 2 random enemies and to the person in the first slot. But if the Lich is the one in the first slot, then the Lich doesn't take any damage. So you can effectively use him as like a single target farming bot, if you so desire. What do we sacrifice for the greater good? It's a Zambi. Now, I do think that the sacrificial reward is entirely dependent on the monster you sacrifice, but I don't remember what they are. Acid Gland. That's an interesting item. Demolition Expert. I do not think we want the Dhampir here, because the Doomsayer will mark her, and then the Golem will just punch her. Punch her in the face and really hurt her. So she's going to go into the mortuary to heal. And we will move on with our lives. We have to bring this team pretty much, because killing the Golem is a priority. I'm worried about the Doomsayer, and I was thinking, how do we deal with the Adamants? And I think the way that we're going to approach them, well, we're about to actually pass through the Adamants, but characters like the Adamants that buff themselves into oblivion, I think we're going to pick up this talent for the Unfrozen, so that now his "get over here" thing will remove all buffs from the target. This would have been really helpful with dealing with Adamants, but I really wanted the Stance Interrupt and this first, because I'm greedy, I don't know. Because my priorities weren't in the right place, however you want to look at it. But there are characters later on that do lots of buffing, so it'll be helpful to have. And the other upgrade path is just more damage taking, more damage vulnerability. So I'm really not that concerned, honestly. So the way that we deal with this, as always, is that we're going to go ahead and set ourselves up for success. And the Unfrozen will just obliterate the Golem in time. Now, I do have to keep in mind that the Doomsayer is going to be causing a lot of problems. We can chip away at his ward turn by turn using the Banshee, and then we can pull him forward into his Doom. That's kind of my plan right now. That really hurt. That hurts. I love Iratus. I feel like I say that every episode, but I do. So we probably want to use... This guy actually has resistance, this Demolition Expert, so we'll do it on these two. These are the priorities. Look at that damage. It's beautiful. Now, if only I had a way... I am actually going to reduce the accuracy of the Golem here, because we found out last time that this brings him down to 25%, which is a very, very small chance of him hitting. This is not a good buff. So ideally, in a perfect world, we let this guy live for 2 turns, so this can wear off. In a perfect world. We don't live in a perfect world, though, so he might die anyway. Remember, we do not have the buff removing pole yet. So it's not something we can do at the moment. I'm pretty sure he's just gonna die. Honestly. Just like training dummies. Oh, come on. I call BS.
Part of the breathless tide.
That went through freaking... That was a 25% chance to hit me, and it hit. I call shenanigans. Don't kill him. Okay. He lived. Barely. And... Guess we'll pull the Doomsayer forward. And you're dead.
As worthless as you were in life, you will be worth something in death.
Calculated. We did it. I'm so proud of us. Now we're just going to throw spears at this guy. So that he can never ever use his stance. It's so convenient that that goes through block. Part of me kind of expected that they would nerf it. Honestly. It's just that useful. Unfortunately, I can't heal a whole lot. I can heal for 12. Okay. That's better than nothing. I do like upgrading the Dark Knight's Wrath ability to the version where you heal off a single person. For... Is it 35?
You know, if this keeps up, I'll be done purging the world ahead of schedule.
We can take a look. Hello. Yeah, so the two different paths for Abyssal Hunger. One of them, Ravenous Hunger, is that all enemies... So he will steal life for 15 vigor from all enemies. So in a perfect world, which we don't live in, this is 60 vigor. That's a lot of vigor to restore. But as I mentioned, we don't live in a perfect world. By the time you get 60 Wrath, something somewhere is probably dead. Or close to it. So I do like going for Dark Greed. This is a single target ability, so you'll steal 35 life from a single enemy, and it gives you 2 armor and 2 resistance, so it makes you a bit more tanky. The other one gives you 10 vigor, which is arguably equivalent. It depends which side of the fence you're on. As for the Dark Knight, I do like upgrading this this way. Stare into the void.
Get back to battle.
Although I do miss the +1 dread from going the other direction. I just think that we have so many debuffs going off all of the time that he's going to get a lot of value out of that. Okay, initiative. I don't like you going so late in the turn order, because then everyone else has to delay. You're making everyone wait for you. For the Banshee. I guess just dreads? We could try to dump some points in armor and whatnot. That might be worth it considering she's in the second slot. But you know. Me. I guess we'll go... Let's see. If we're gonna go with the get over here buff removal, then we don't need the Desolate Scream buff removal. So we can go with this way and make it so that it removes evasion. Which I'm pretty okay with. Kind of like that. And then I kind of want to upgrade Whale into Chilling Whale. Plus 20 Dread is a lot of Dread. That's nothing to sneeze at. Okay. So that's the direction we're going right now. Unfortunately, our Dark Knight is a little wounded. Are we on the boss? The Digger Souls. So the boss is the Keymasters. Of course, I have fought the Keymaster a lot. It's no big secret what he does, or how I approach him, which is usually, you know, directly. There's no getting around.
They will carry the curse of my tomb to the world.
There's no getting around the Keymaster, lads. There's only one way to fight him, and it's directly. So we go with this. Besides, he spawns a lot of stuff, so I'm probably going to be able to heal. The Dhampir is at full HP. Would she be good for dealing with the Keymaster? Not really. Well, maybe. The problem is that the Keymaster can summon all sorts of little minions to assist him, and if he spawns hunkies, I get stunned. I don't have his Humanorium. Aww. I have the Humanorium for the second boss. I don't have the Pyromancer human. I'm pretty sure it's his chance, right? If I get that? Alright. I won't take her. I don't want to lose her, because we have a lot put into her. We'll take the A-team. The A-team knows what's up. The A-team is going to put an end to the Keymaster. The keys in his possession granted this man great purpose. For a bribe and a favor, he was willing to carry missives, arrange fights, and allow gangs of criminals to quietly murder their competition while they slept. He saw himself as a king, and the keys were his crown. As long as they were needed, he was needed. But the undead care not for the jingling metal, and for the man himself, they will have no need at all. Funny story. I don't know if you've noticed, but on the channel I do like to play Total War Three Kingdoms, which is based on the Three Kingdoms period of China. Ancient China, the Han Dynasty. And the antagonist, we'll say, of that time period is one Dong Zhuo. And the community likes to refer to him as Big Daddy Dong, because he is a rather large fellow, much like this guy. And in history, it is believed that Dong Zhuo was so large and full of fat and oil that he burned in the city for 2 days straight. Was it 2 or 3? I think it was 2 days. My point is that he was a large fellow that burned for his crimes. I really don't want my Wrath ability to be eaten by a ward. That sounds depressing, really. Oh look, jingle, jingle, jingle. Here's your freedom right here. I could give it to you, but I'm not going to. I'm trying to think, where do we want this cloud? I guess I'll negate this. The cloud is incredibly useful against large health bosses because it chips away at them, you know? Slowly.
You will soon embrace your new existence.
I need to find the quote. It's, oh no. Ooh, betrayal. Lovely. If you're familiar with a game like this, you probably know of Darkest Dungeon. The remarkable, I can't remember his name at the moment, sorry. But the narrator for that game is remarkable. And he has a great quote about damage over time effect killing people. And that's what I was reminding myself of that I can't remember all of a sudden. I guess we'll wail. And we can keep him moving. Aww. See if this makes sense to the computer. Come here. Oh. So I forgot that he will like redirect things to his minions because he's a terrible person, and we do not want the Banshee here if we can help that. So let's
Strength through pain.
skedaddle that way. We'll scream on him because he deserves it. Kind of want to heal again, but let's get in our stance so that we can do some real damage. Some real damage. By putting the trap here in the first spot, we ensure that we're always going to be pulling him into it. Which is good.
Born was your first mistake.
We have this covered.
Your last.
I guess we'll just go back into the stance. I could heal to full here, though, if I want to. Should I? Meh. Back to the stance. We heal to full whenever we enter the next floor, so it's not like I need to be incredibly conservative. Ow, that hurt a lot. That hurt. Charlie. Charlie bit my finger. Ooh, can we stunlock him? Aw, he's immune. I feel like I knew that. Hello. You gotta try, right? We're gonna be able to start chunking this HP with the Gloom Claws. In fact, why don't we start now? 82, not bad. Look at all this wrath we suddenly have. I will heal now.
This never gets old.
Just because I don't like being punched. See? I told you, don't like being punched. Get over here. 3 corpses with 1... Hello? There are no corpses here. I don't know exactly what you're expecting, but
Strength through pain.
I assure you, you're about to be the only corpse present here. I might be able to kill him with Winter. Winter does kill many people, just ask the Russians. Bye-bye.
Mop up
Dun,
the
da, da, da. Ooh.
I'd hate to see plants using it as
Yes!
fertilizer.
We did it! Oh, we got the Serpent Skull! Oh, this item is so good. And I completed my Humanorium. The Undertaker's Clothes for each enemy killed in battle. Now, I never actually found out... Does this include heart attacks? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Because our Shade kills people. Oh, this item is so good. I've totally forgotten what we were doing with the Dark Knight. I was just so excited that we won. I'm also still kind of looking for the quote. Multitasking. Alright, now we have 9 armor and 9 resistance. I feel pretty happy about that. It's getting expensive. No new abilities for the Banshee. The Banshee Queen. I guess we'll put points in armor. We can only level it 4 times. So does it go up to 8? Is that what this is telling me? For the Shade. We just put points in evasion, didn't we? I think. Let's put some points in luck, because I want to talk about the Serpent Skull. If the minions start their turn in position 3 or 4, which the Shade is always in, they receive +3 luck and +3 critical 3% critical damage until the battle ends, stacks up to 5 times, which brings you to a total of 15 luck and +15% critical damage. With the Shade, this is insane. It can make Void Claws hit so much harder. You can just like randomly kill people from half sanity, and it's great fun. It is also excellent on the Unfrozen, but right now, The Unfrozen is just hanging out. I really don't know what to put here, actually. Like, maybe I'm looking for a second Serpent's Claw. Maybe we put a Mutant Claw here. Additional damage against elites is always cool. We'll see, we'll see. Now, over here... More experience is nice, I'll take it. Sure.
Ah, fetching.
It is fetching, yeah. The Maddening Amulet is interesting. But I don't know if I want it. And I definitely want a new weapon, but we'll just have to see what awaits us. On the second floor, the dwarf tunnels. Here we go. The hunger for wealth had long since become the only virtue among the hardy dwarven folk. Gone are their ancient traditions along with the names of their ancestors. For what was more logical? What was more powerful? Logic or some dead dwarf rotting away into dust? The dead dwarf that's rotting, of course. Their ruthless schemes and alchemists knew the answer to that question, and the human kingdom was more than willing to facilitate their experiments. They have grown rich and feared, setting up their own enclave, and became the default overseers of the mines. That wasn't very hard, was it? This is such a weird start position. What? We're literally going from one corner to the other. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Cool. Okay, so obviously we want to get this cultist. Because we're missing the Heart of Emptiness for the Dark Knight and the second slipper for the Banshee. Then everyone here will have their unique item. So if we're going for minimum 2 class items, or 2 creation items, and I would like to get the skeleton item and the ghoul item for a maximum of 4. But if we're looking at 2 minimum, we have here 1 here. We could hard left and just run across. There's a second cultist. So we can only get 2 if we hard left this. If we take the detour, we'll call it, and kind of zigzag, we have 1, 2, a 2, 3. Is there any way I can get more? 1. No. 3 can be the most I can get. Okay, we'll aim for 3, so I can either... We're gonna grab one of these 2, I don't know which. But we'll assess that when we get there. Because here's our first battle. We're fighting 2 Dwarven Berserkers. Oh dear. And 1 Dwarven Warrior. Excuse me. 1 Dwarven Warrior. Okay. Now. Oh, you had to start off with it. The second floor here is a little tricky. Just a little tricky. And the reason is because...
Speed of thought.
You don't really want to be going after people's sanity here. That is not the ideal circumstance. And the reason is because of this. This feature that I'm going to read, I promise. The Dwarven Berserkers do not escape. They deal 30 stress damage to themselves at the start of every turn. And I would finish reading it if things weren't happening. Deals 30 stress damage to self at the start of each of its actions. For every 10 points of sanity missing, gain +1 attack. And they, like, frenzy. And when you drive them insane, they always berserk. I have never seen them not berserk, which is +50% damage. So, if you are trying to counter these things directly, you are not, and I repeat, not, going to try and kill them with stress damage. You do not want to drive these insane. It will not end well. But, you know, that's just people trying to counter them perfectly. We're going to see, for science, I suppose, if we're... Get wrecked. I'm curious if our hybrid approach to this will be enough to kind of overcome the obstacle in front of us. I don't know the answer to that question, so that's why I'm trying. But if the Banshee just nonstop crowd controls people, there's really nothing for me to do about that. We'll put down a trap here. We'll keep debuffing. Now, overall, if you're looking for tips on the second floor, it's about what you would expect. The second floor is full of incredibly durable, incredibly annoying units. So you want to be able to either negate physical damage, or like by having a lot of armor, or perhaps using the Bone Golem to be able to apply blocks to friends. That was really helpful on the second floor. So we might be breaking out the Bone Golem when our good old reliable Dark Knight needs to heal. Speaking of healing. Thanks, bros. Appreciate it. Bring it for this one. None of that Berserker crap. There it is. Oh, it also increases the damage they receive. Oh, has this been switched? Or did I just remember incorrectly? I'm not actually sure which is more likely. Increases damage dealt by 25%, and damage received is increased by 50%. So I guess that is an option. You could drive them insane and then smack them really hard. I don't really have a way to help here, though. Unfortunately.
Carve open their husks.
So I guess I'm just going to try and reduce his attack and hope that he doesn't kill me. Ow. All things considered, though, that wasn't that bad. That went about as well as it could have gone. Hello. Get over here. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. 557. Oh, it's so good. I told you it was going to be amazing. I didn't deceive you, did I? Just miss crowd controlling this. So yeah, that's what the Shade can do for you. And that's why I give the Shade the Serpent Skull. Now don't get me wrong though, the Serpent Skull is amazing on the Unfrozen as well. But, oh, I forgot he had Ward. He has 1 hit point. Well, at least he didn't take any unnecessary damage. Talk about overkill.
My will is a tide that will wash away your pathetic civilizations.
Ooh, piece of candy. Alright, here it is. The Call of Winter being upgraded to the Purging Blizzard. This gives +4 accuracy, and it will remove all buffs from the targets.
My enemies are in for a nasty surprise.
There are a few enemies that we have coming up that will be extra annoying, applying a lot of buffs and whatnot, so this will be very helpful. I'm going to put these 3 points into initiative, because remember, the Unfrozen double dips from attack and initiative, and the sooner well, he's still going to just delay his turn, because he has to wait for the Dark Knight to enter his stance, which is annoying, but I'd rather use the combo than not in most circumstances. Another question here with the Shade. There is some shenanigans you can do with Swindle Fates. What I mean by this is, if an enemy has a lot of evasion, which we won't really find on the second floor, you're going to find this on the third floor and above. Primarily the third floor, I'm pretty sure there's some above as well. Where the enemy just has like 40, 50 evasion, and it's incredibly challenging to hit them. You could use this Swindle Fate to give a 1 turn plus 30 accuracy, which would really help out. Remember, for every point of accuracy you have over 100%, you start chipping away at the enemy evasion stat. But that's still moving, which can be very challenging for some characters. So in the past, I've gone for Grand Deception. This changes it from a plus 30 evasion for 1 turn to plus 40 evasion for 1 turn, which in desperate moments of needing to evade, this slightly guarantees that you will a little better. And it gives plus 2 evasion baseline, which is good for the Shade anyway. That was a lot of a talking to explain not much, wasn't it? As with the upgrades here, I'm honestly not sure. Glimpse of the Dark World, I've never really played around with it. Because I've always liked Black Radiance, because minus 40 accuracy for 2 actions is intense. Even the characters, the enemies that have absurd accuracy, this will bring them below 100. Like, I'm pretty sure even the Dark Ranger, or Elf Ranger, or whatever. Okay, he only has 114. The Scout, yeah, look at that, 133 accuracy. This is the 3rd floor, by the way. Spoiler alert! What about the Marksman? Oh, look at that. Oh, 154. So, I mean, at that point, is it even worth trying to nerf his accuracy? I don't know. I don't know the answer. I guess we'll go with this.
I expect results.
Mostly because I haven't played around with it myself, and it gives +2 luck baseline, which helps the scaling of the Serpent Skull, which means we do more of that 577 damage shenanigans, which I really enjoyed that. That was good fun. I kind of want to head down towards the Finger of Death, but we need the luck potion, right?
Through transformation, the will becomes free.
So one more point, we pick up luck potion, we move on. Whoopsie daisies. Oh, I do need to be here though. What are we gonna build? Dead Lake is probably the excavation, if I follow my my usual plan.
They will be expecting cannon fodder, but I will give them cannons instead.
That's a great way. I feel like Unfrozen wrote that because that is exactly how players were going to feel about the zombie. Like when I saw zombie, I was like, oh, this is going to be dumb. It's going to be cannon fodder. It's going to be, you know, frontline throwaway. No. He's wielding a giant cannon and deals some of the highest damage in the game. You would have thought.
The dead don't get to rest.
Not me. I wouldn't have thought. Alright, so we're heading towards the cultist. We are probably going to pick up the Heart of Emptiness, if I were to guess. With the second slipper. You know, we've already lost the Heart of Emptiness. So it might be time for the second slipper. And I've never actually used this item before, so there's that. What are we looking at? We're looking at Berserker, Warrior, Trader, and Alchemist? Ooh. Our Unfrozen leveled just in time. Remember when I said that removing buffs is going to be very helpful? Thanks, game, for giving me opponents that proves my point.
Gold, but it will do.
That heal is for our Banshee and our Dark Knight because this is going to be fun. Ooh. Actually, the Dhampir probably could have done this one. Maybe. Yeah, she could have, right? I think she could have. With each hit, he gains Frenzy. There's that character. That's kind of a lot. The Berserker's sitting at 62 luck right now. I can't say I'm a fan of that. But here's one of the characters that begins with 3 armor and 3 ward that I mentioned. Or 3 block and 3 ward. I don't know why I keep calling it armor. So the Black Widow would be incredibly helpful against traders. Finger of Death. The Vampires, Grand Auspex. All of those things would be very helpful here. Well, I kind of want to go into my stance. Even though I think what I should be doing is, like, purging buffs and stuff. It's going to take many turns for me to chip away at the Trader's Ward. That's... Is that the armor break? That could be very bad for our Dark Knight. Wait, why are you here? Yeah. Oh. How do I remove debuffs? The Dark Knight can remove debuffs off himself. I'm gonna start killing this Berserker. I don't want to deal with him.
Perish.
Like, in this group composition that we're fighting, The Trader and the Alchemist are incredibly annoying. Let me just get that out there right now. But the Berserker is the true threat. I'll remove his debuffs. Or his buffs. He doesn't need them. Ooh. Okay. I need to purge this or else I'm just going to get wrecked. The Unfrozen can be in the first slot for one turn. That's not that big of a deal. Really? Believe it or not. Actually, I might be able to just kill the Berserker. That might have been the play. I wouldn't have to rely on my crit, but my crit's good, man. I crit real good, if you know what I mean. Right, we're done with the ward, finally. It's a bit of a shame for you that Void Claws goes through. You think that your little ward can save you. My, how mistaken you are.
Brave are an excellent source of fresh corpses.
Alright, well, the primary threat has been neutralized. So let's heal up and get back to tanking. It is beautiful, isn't it? What's... Ooh, the Alchemist is a lot of... That's luck, not evasion. Okay. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of evasion happening here. Guess we'll just wail and see what happens. You know, it might be worth, if we're not rocking the Wraith here... Ooh. It might be worth... making it so the whale gets attacked as well. Because we are doing a significant amount of damage with the Unfrozen. Which is kind of unexpected. Beautiful. Oh, no, 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 no. So I gave you the second slipper and you just aren't evading. Is that what this is coming down to? How much quick maths? This could be a dead alchemist. That wasn't good. Now it's a dead alchemist for sure. Weakness. Alright, goodbye.
Ooh, this one voided its bowels just as it died.
So now, I'm pretty sure this guy's gonna run away. But I can just kill him now with... No, 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 no! Ooh. Ooh. The slipper saved the day. Alright. I no longer regret giving you the slipper. Uh-oh. I hear sirens. Many, many sirens. It has been raining all day, so I hope there wasn't like an accident or anything.
Towards my eternal kingdom.
All minions gain plus 10 vigor until the battle ends. Wow. I hope you can't hear them. Or if you can, that they're not that annoying. I think I'm going to hold these points because I want her to have more evasion. Because the slipper, now that we have a slipper, and that her entire survivability is going to revolve around evading things, I think we just sit there and pump this up at all cost. This does give us an additional synergy with the Wraith. Where's my Wraith? He's down here. With the Wraith, because his one real defensive is the Ghostly Veil, which summons a Concealing Cloud for 2 rounds. Any minion within the cloud receives plus 25 evasion. Think of this as like a friendly trap. So we put this on the ground in one spot, and whoever is standing in it at the time gains plus 25 evasion. If we have like 50 evasion on the Banshee plus this, that's 75% chance to evade. You can even make it better with this, but I usually go for the 3 turns. Because again, as I mentioned in the guide video, turns become very, very expensive later on. So, I don't know. Although speaking of the Wraith, it might be time for him to come say hello, because I think the Banshee has to go heal. A steal. So we give this to Iratus, right? I don't really need this from my minions. I think this is going to Iratus to get us moving farther towards the luck potion. I think this gives us the luck potion.
The formulae reveal their secrets.
Okay. So now, as far as alchemy is concerned, we could go down a little farther to increase our chance of getting artifacts, and then to get brains so we can do more shenanigans in case something dies. But I'm pretty convinced now that we start heading towards the Finger of Death. The Shade is all set up. The Shade is ready to go. The Shade is ready to supply us with infinite mana. And with infinite mana, you need some way to spend it. And Finger of Death is a pretty good way to spend it. Fun fact, actually. If you Finger of Death something, and then Void Claws it, it's instantly dead. It just dies. Well, okay, most things die. The one condition is that it has to have an equal or more amount of sanity as it does vigor, which is most things. There are only a handful of enemies on each floor that have less HP than, or excuse me, less sanity than they do HP. And they're usually not that big of a deal anyway. But you get the idea, right? Finger of Death, instant kill it, regenerate your mana. Finger of Death again, instant kill it, regenerate your mana, and on until the end of time. As for the Dark Knight, I really don't know what I'm doing here. Like, we could upgrade Dread. He's doing a lot of Dread damage primarily, so we could do that, or we could hold out for more defenses, because, of course, the good old Dark Knight is our frontline boy. He is the one drawing all of the threats, except for the Banshee whenever, something looks her way. Speaking of Banshee, she's gonna go in there. And we have to decide, where are we going? If we go up, we have to go up, don't we? If we want to hit all the cultists that I want to hit. Even that I don't think I can hit 4 cultists. So going up, we have a battle. The Dwarven Berserker, the Dwarven Warrior. Oh, we have a Berserker. That's going to be tough without the Banshee. Dwarven Berserker, Dwarven Warrior, Alchemist Trader. It's a repeat. Again, we could bring in a Black Widow just for this. Do I have to be level 3? I could give her a brain. See what happens. It is the next one. So she can't actually reach where the trader starts. I did have an idea for a Black Widow at one point in time. It was largely dealing with Spider Hex. Spider Hex doesn't really help me here, though. All things considered. Unless Spider Venom counts as a debuff? I don't think it would. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I will. We have enough brains, right? We have enough brains to try this out? You know what? Let's do it. Let's show off the Black Widow.
Weaving a web of death for my enemies has just gotten a whole lot more literal.
Yes, it has. So this is the Black Widow's alternative skin. And she's getting another skin in the planned DLC for Fall 2020. It looks so good. The skins that they have planned for the DLC, I love each and every one of them. So because we are trying to use her in this stressed capacity, we're going to go for Spider Hex. And we definitely need this. This is the whole point in my mind of having a Black Widow.
Now, prove yourself worthy of my investment.
And that is to purge the target of all block and all ward. Not many characters can do this, so it is a rather unique circumstance. And again, the Black Widow is a frontline character. She is durable, and she can actually heal based off a percentage of her HP. Yes, the Spider Cocoon. So after every single minion or enemy action, she recovers 4% of her vigor, which is right now 6. As you can imagine, as you pump up this vigor stat, that number increases. And there are 2 upgrade paths for this. One of them is Invigorating Cocoon, which makes it so it's 6% instead of 4%, also gives her plus 5 life. Her more offensive version is the Spiky Cocoon, which keeps the health regeneration the same, but any enemy that attacks the Black Widow or the enemy behind her, because the attack will be redirected to her, she will retaliate for 75% damage, which right now is 12 to 16 damage. So, there are a lot of ways you can take the Black Widow. There are a lot of utility ancillary-like ways to play her. But we'll see. We'll see. I think I'm going to give her some armor and some HP. Try and make her just a tiny bit more durable. And we'll see next time if it pays off. Again, I love the Black Widow. I've tried to make her work, and I've always failed. So maybe, just maybe, this time it'll be a little different. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. The return of the Supreme Necromancer continues tomorrow, and we'll march forth to glory. Actually, I could go to the left here. Double trading. I could go to the left here and pick up some graves for some free minions. Then we can get a... No, I need to go this way, which... Meh. I think we'll go this way. We can sacrifice another unit. Who cares?